Now, the guests who are arriving just across from David Foster Way and making their way up that carpet will go inside tonight to the Fairmont Empress Hotel, the tea lobby, the Crystal Ballroom, and Palm Court, where they'll take part in a star-studded intimate night. And in doing so, they'll be supporting the Foster Foundation, enjoying a gala reception and then a dinner and a very special concert this evening. It's going to be quite a night. Let's check in with CTV's Andrew Johnson, who is inside with a preview. Andrew.
Hudson, I don't think anyone beginning to stream into the tea room here knows quite what to expect tonight, and that is the beauty of these massive David Foster productions. The man knows how to put on the show. He's not called the hitman for nothing. I don't think anyone will leave here disappointed. But behind all of the glamour of this event tonight, and there's a lot of it inside the Fairmont Empress right now, is the work, the incredible work being done in hospitals across the country by the David Foster Foundation. I had a chance to travel with David Foster's team to Montreal, Edmonton, Calgary, Toronto, to visit families and children in pediatric intensive care units waiting for organ transplants. Some of these families are at their lowest moments. They aren't sure if their son or daughter is going to live. The wait for an organ can be long. And how the David Foster Foundation works is the foundation is there to help keep the family afloat during this time. When the parents need to be in the hospital, they can't be at home working. They have to be by their children's side. And David Foster is there at that point where they don't have anyone else to turn to. It's called a Last Resort Foundation. And we'll have more a little later on tonight about how the foundation first got started 25 years ago, what inspired David Foster to help all of these people. And he's helped hundreds of families with millions of dollars over the years. And where the foundation's going from here. We'll have that a little later on, Hudson.
All right, Andrew, thank you. Quite the experience you had traveling with the Foster Foundation, meeting those families. We'll check into that with you in a little while. Well, our colleagues at CFAX 1070 have had quite a day. They have been working the microphones since the crack of dawn, 6 o'clock this morning, for Foster Friday, a radiothon that runs 12 hours and is still going strong now into its final hour. CTV's Joe Perkins is there. He's joining us now live inside our CTV News studios as we're into the final hour of Foster Friday. Joe.
Hudson, it's the final hour, the final push. We are about 50 minutes away from finding out just how much money was raised here today. It was busy all day long. We had CFAX 1070 broadcasting here. Over here, Hudson, you can see the ladies working the phone. The number to call if you want to make a pledge is 250-386-1161. As we said, phones are still open, and the good news is there's no pledge too small.
We'll take $1, we'll take $5. They add up. There's a lot of generous people here in the Lower Mainland, and especially in Victoria. And Victoria, for so many years, carried the brunt of this foundation. And we were helping families all over British Columbia, and the money was all coming from Victoria. So they should feel really good about that. And when I see downstairs and see how this has grown from me popping in 15 years ago to a little cubicle and going, hey, let's raise a little money, and we raised maybe 10 grand, and now we talk in $250,000. It's phenomenal, and I'm just blown away.
There you hear David Foster there. It has been quite the day down here. Lots of people coming in, lots of celebrities. There was Pamela Anderson earlier. Jim, one of the Dragons from the Dragon's Den, was here. And, of course, David Foster made an appearance as well. Lots of people calling in over the phones. Wayne Gretzky made a phone call. Lots of people. Like we said, phones still open for another 50 minutes or so. That number to call one more time, 250-386-1161. And the big news will be announced later on in the show, Hudson. We will have the live grand total reveal coming up in about 50 minutes. Back to you, Hudson.
All right, Joe, thank you. We'll check back with you at about 5 to 6. Thank you.
Yep.
Well, of course, the original idea for this miracle event, this weekend concert and gala, came from a very well-known and respected Greater Victoria business family. Kevin and Shauna Walker had planned the fundraiser to coincide with the grand opening of their new Oak Bay Beach Hotel. But things don't go quite according to plan sometimes, and construction delays meant that the event had to be moved here tonight to the Fairmont Empress. But the Oak Bay Beach Hotel is still sticking to its original commitment to raise $2 million over the next 10 years for the David Foster Foundation. And the hotel is still being worked on, and it's going to be ready soon and be well worth the wait. Let's check in with our Louise Hartland, who is live at the Oak Bay Beach Hotel with a look. Louise.
Hudson, it is an absolutely gorgeous night here up on top of the Oak Bay Beach Hotel. But as you mentioned, we are in a bit of a construction zone. And here to talk to us a little bit more about how construction is going is Brian Hobson with the Walker Hospitality.
Walker Hospitality in the Oak Bay Beach Hotel.
Great.
Hi,
Brian,
Louise. How are you?
I'm great. And what a wonderful way to spend a beautiful evening.
It really is. Thank you very much for coming tonight.
Brian, what is happening with the construction here at the hotel?
Well, as you can see around us, we still have a little ways to go. Most of the exterior cladding is complete. The roof is about 95% of the way there. All the plumbing is in. Most of the mechanical has happened. So now it's a matter of finish up the electrical and the drywalling, and then everything will happen very, very quickly after that.
And everything here is going to be opening in phases.
That's our objective. Is what we're going to do is for our team is to get into the administration wing first. Then we're hoping to have Kate's Cafe, perhaps the spa open sometime later in summer, and then the hotel rooms after that. Then we'll move on to the residences.
Fantastic. So we'll see more about how construction is going in a story later in the show, Hudson. And in the meantime, we'll enjoy our time up here on the roof.
All right. Louise, thank you. We'll check back with you and take a full tour a little later on CTV News. Now, you saw at the beginning of the broadcast there is a big, beautiful tent that is covering the purple carpet on its way up into the old tea lobby entrance here at the Fairmont Empress. It's there and looks beautiful tonight, but it will not serve any function in terms of keeping our guests dry from the rain because there is no rain tonight. There's a shot of the tent right now, and we have an absolutely spectacular day, as Astrid promised us it would be. The sun came out today. The wind has died down. Good news for us, not so good for the harbor full of sailboats here for Swiftsure. Let's check in with Astrid. Astrid.
You're absolutely right, Hudson. It is a beautiful evening for us here to celebrate all of the guests who are coming along the purple carpet tonight. I think the spectators who have come to join us like the forecast. What do you think of the weather right now? Great! Yeah, they're into it. It's fantastic. That's going to change things up for us. But tonight we can enjoy the sunshine, and the tent is just going to give us a little bit of shade because we really do need it right about now. It's really warm down here. Hudson, a beautiful forecast, and I'll tell you a little bit more about what this Rolls-Royce has to do with the weather coming up a little bit later.
All right, Astrid, thank you. We are going to enjoy a sunny weekend. We'll have full purple carpet coverage for you and a look ahead of the Miracle Weekend over the next 2 hours here on CTV News. But there is some other news to report tonight, and David Foster is not the only hometown hero getting a lot of attention. Vancouver Island's favorite cyclist, Ryder Hejdahl, is doing laps around the competition at the major Grand Prix event underway in Europe, the Giro d'Italia. CTV's Myra Lawrence is here at the Empress right now, and she joins us live with more on that. Myra.
Yeah, Hudson, no Canadian has ever stood on the podium at the conclusion of a Grand Prix event, and Victoria's Ryder Hejdahl is pedal steps closer to actually standing not only on the podium, but on top of it. Ryder was aggressive and dominant. He was the best rider on the road in today's stage 19 of the Giro d'Italia.
Look at Hejdahl. The guy is unbelievable.
They can't drop him. Sitting 30th overall, behind the overall leader, Ryder didn't need to attack in this mountain stage, but he did so anyway, surprising many of the other GC riders. In the last 1.5 kilometers, Ryder leapfrogged Italy's Michael Scarponi for second position, and with 1 kilometer left, Ryder dropped Scarponi like he dropped the overall leader, Joaquin Rodriguez, a few K back. Ryder hit the gas and legged his way up the steep hill finish. This was Ryder's day. He gained valuable time on Rodriguez and sits just 17 seconds back of the leader heading into the final 2 stages. Now, Hudson, even though Rodriguez retained that pink jersey, he said in his post-game interview that this is Ryder's race to lose. That's because he's expected to gain ground in tomorrow's mountain stage, and he is a good time trials rider. Coming up in sports, we're going to have Ryder's mechanic, Troy Woodburn, explain just how important this stage 19 was to Ryder's chances of standing and popping champagne in Milan come Sunday.
All right, Ryder's in the pink and we're in the purple here tonight. Myra, thank you. We'll check back and get more on Ryder's Day still ahead. A traffic note for you. If you were trying to get into or out of Sooke earlier today or out onto West Coast Road, you know you had some delays. The Sooke Bridge was closed after a truck pulling a trailer jackknifed, and that shut down the bridge and all access into and out of the area. The crash happened just after 10 o'clock this morning. The driver of a vehicle crossing the bridge unexpectedly slammed on the brakes, and that set off a bit of a chain reaction pileup involving 4 vehicles. A pickup truck carrying a big trailer tried to stop, but ended up clipping another vehicle, and the rear axle of the truck was torn out. The trailer nearly went over the side of the bridge. 2 people were taken to the hospital suffering non-life-threatening injuries, but traffic in both directions was blocked for about an hour.
From what I saw, the guy was already crossing the center line, heading this way on the bridge, and his front end of his truck ended up touching actually the side of the southbound lane bridge.
Right in the middle of the day, the only bridge in Sooke, the truck was across both lanes, so it was essentially closed down to other than pedestrian traffic. and so I imagine traffic was backed up for quite some distance.
It sure was. Traffic was backed up for at least 3 kilometers, but the traffic did begin moving again and cleared out. RCMP tonight are investigating the crash. Still ahead on this special edition of CTV News, Adam has your celebrity arrivals here live on the purple carpet, and we'll show you how the Foster Foundation is helping families across the country. Well, the celebrities have begun arriving on the purple carpet, including a gentleman who is our host tonight, very familiar to E-Talk viewers across the country. Let's check in now with Adam, who has more. Adam.
Very familiar because he is the co-anchor of the most watched entertainment news program in Canada, Mr. Ben Mulroney. Thank you for being here.
Oh, my pleasher. Thank you.
What can you teach me? I mean, really, you do way more of these than I do.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great. You've you entertained me during the commercial break. Yeah. That's always key. And no, we're keeping it fun and loose. Although I didn't know we were coming back, so you should gotta let me know next time.
Okay, so next time I say we're like coming up live in 30 seconds.
I'm kidding. You did great.
But is that what we do?
No, you gotta. Yeah. Well, I did it once on a carpet where I had to hold Oprah Winfrey during a commercial break at the Oscars, and my producers kept telling me to tell her that we were 30 seconds away, but we were 4.5 minutes away. And after a while, she realized that it was not 30 seconds, so she finally took my hands and said, "It's okay, I'm not going anywhere." So you gotta remember, your guests are rarely just gonna bolt on you.
That's right. You're gonna be the MC of the event tonight. You're also going to be the MC at the big concert tomorrow, the Save on Foods Memorial Center. Yeah. What can people expect? What is the feel, the energy going to be
Well, I've
like?
been at a few of these events in the past. Most recently last year in Toronto. Just about almost exactly a year ago, David did an event in Toronto, and it allows you, when it's, he calls it David Foster and Friends, he brings his friends in, these great, tremendous musicians, and they perform in a way that is so very intimate that even if you were able to see these people in concert separately, you wouldn't feel as close to them as you do in these shows. It's like having the world's most talented friends and being invited to their home. That's what it is.
You've been to a similar event before, way back when in Victoria, when David first started this.
Yeah.
You were one of the first Foster Foundation fundraisers.
Yes,
what
it was a softball game.
Yeah.
And my parents played in the game, but then they let us, the kids, run the bases. And I thought, wow, if this is what it's like to be the son of the Prime Minister, every day is going to be incredible. Turns out, wasn't always as fun, but that's a great memory.
So what's it like being the son of the co-anchor of a national entertainment program? You have twins.
I do have twin boys, Brian and John, and they're good boys. They're good boys. They're back in Toronto. We were in Montreal visiting the family for a week, and they're great. I miss them every day. Fortunately, I've got my phone with me, so I can always look at videos.
Which is what we were doing in the commercial break, which brings this all full circle. Ben Mulroney, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks so much.
Have a great time this weekend. Welcome back to Victoria.
Thanks so much.
There we go. Ben Mulroney, who of course is the co-host of CTV's #1 entertainment news program, E-Talk. He will be the MC of all the shenanigans and all the wonderful things that are happening this weekend as well. Hansen?
All right, Sparky, thank you. And a few of us who've been around long enough were at that softball game, but weren't as little as Ben was back then. It should be a fun night. If you still need inspiration to make sure that you or someone you love is an organ donor, look no farther than a very vibrant young woman from Ottawa. Just a few months ago, she could barely breathe, but now, thanks to a new set of lungs, she is gushing with gratitude and dancing on national TV. Double lung transplant recipient Ellen Campbell made a return appearance on The Ellen Show today. Ellen DeGeneres supported Campbell's campaign for organ donor awareness. And Campbell showed her DeGeneres and her audience today that she is already well enough to dance, and she proved it, showing everyone just how remarkable her recovery has been. Campbell also thanked the family of her donor and vowed to keep raising awareness about organ donation, which is what we're all about here tonight. And when it comes to fundraising and helping others, there are a few in the league of Vancouver Island's fundraising dynamo, Janiece Edroff. But Janiece and her family, we have to tell you tonight, are recovering after being involved in a traffic accident. Janiece and her parents were driving home from the conclusion of the Man in Motion tour in Vancouver with Rick Hansen this week when a car slammed into them from behind at a traffic light. Janiece's parents say their daughter's screams sent them into a panic. Janiece was taken to the hospital in an ambulance. She's okay, though, but doctors say because of her neurofibromatosis, the crash could have been deadly.
Ambulance driver and aid attendant were really nice to get me into the trauma section, so we were only there for an hour. But next day I had to go for biopsies, and then take the ferry home. So me being in an actual accident was like I was in quite a lot of shock for a while.
The first thing I heard from Janiece was that she had a big scream inside my back. Of course, Yeah, the worst thought comes in your mind. She's paralyzed. And anyway, she was in a lot of pain and everything else. And luckily, a police car was just coming by, and he stopped, and he arranged for an ambulance, and we taken to Vancouver General Trauma.
The good news is Janiece is okay, but she tells us she's a little sore after the crash. Her folks are too. Not too sore, though, to stop in and support the Foster Friday Radiothon in the CFAX studios this afternoon. Janiece says she's proud to help out David Foster and friends because, as she puts it, you never know when a loved one might need a transplant. Well, the Victoria Hospitals Foundation is asking for your help tonight. It's trying to raise nearly $400,000 for new state-of-the-art surgical equipment for Victoria General Hospital, non-invasive surgical equipment. The Victoria Hospitals Foundation today launched its spring campaign in support of surgical services. The goal is to raise $390,000 to purchase leading-edge, minimally invasive surgery equipment for Vic General. That equipment will allow surgeons to view the inside of a patient with a slender tube and camera while operating through a tiny incision that'll only need a few stitches to close. Doctors say the better visibility and smaller incision will lead to improved patient safety.
Well, the difference is we do the same operation, but we do it through keyhole surgeries, as is more popularly known. And that allows patients to recover more quickly, allows them to return to their activities and to their occupations more rapidly. It involves a much shorter time in hospital, decreased wound infection rates. Overall, that would decrease level of complications in that regard.
If you'd like to support the Hospitals Foundation in its spring campaign and donate, you can go to victoriahf.ca. The Hospitals Foundation has raised more than $80 million for Greater Victoria hospitals since 1989. We're back with more purple carpet arrivals, more celebrations of the Foster Miracle Weekend, and your Swiftsure weekend weather forecast as CTV News at 5 continues. Welcome back. We're here with more, and the crowds are getting thicker along the rope line. Of course, stargazing is what this is all about. Let's take you right onto the purple carpet with Adam.
Crowds are getting thicker and the stars are getting bigger, and it doesn't come much bigger than the woman that needs no introduction, Ladysmith Centennial baby, Pamela Anderson.
Auntie Vi's niece, Pamela Anderson. Yes.
I was expecting to see Auntie Vi on the red carpet.
Well, this was a last-minute decision, and she gets very excited, and this is very wonderful. But we have to, keep her away from too much.
That's right.
She'd be really mad at me for saying that.
Auntie Vi, one of my most favorite people in the entire world.
Well, me too. Yeah. Yes.
David Foster, probably one of your most favorite people as well.
David Foster is one of my favorite people, and I haven't seen him in a long time. We just ran into each other recently, and so I'm really glad that I could come and do this. 25 years. I think I did this. I did a couple events for him about 10 years ago, so time is flying.
Time is flying. Yeah. You're a mom too. How is it balancing all this, all the cameras looking at you, and being a mom at the same time?
Well, being a mom is first, and you guys are really making me nervous. There's so many cameras and stuff around.
I know.
And it's like not a lot of lighting. It's just very dark. It's like, where are we?
I'll protect
It's very sunny. Yeah, come
it's
on.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's all right.
It's
We're here.
great being a mom. It's great being a mom and being 44 in Canada on a red carpet with no lighting.
What's the lighting issue?
No, I'm kidding.
Are you used to just the
it's
big...
just like, big lights, and it's like glamour,
is that
Hollywood.
Better?
Yes, it is, because it blinds you and you can't see everybody, and it makes you less nervous.
How do you do this? I mean, what is extraordinary is you've been able to you could have just been a one-hit wonder in Baywatch and never done anything since.
Playboy.
Or Playboy, right? And you've been able
to
sustain
strung it all together.
It's more than just being the blonde bombshell. You're an incredible businesswoman as well.
Thank you.
How have you been able to do that?
You do it on purpose.
Stay back.
Well, I've been able to do it, not like this.
Because you stand up to the cameramen that get too close to you, right?
Yeah. No, it's been a lot of fun, and I just have a lot of fun, and I just kind of make my own rules as I go along, and I think I really just do what I want, and there is a formula in Hollywood, and I don't really follow it, so I think that's kind of kept me maybe more of a free spirit, I hope, and I have all my animal rights, and just being a mom, and I just feel blessed every day that I'm still working and still around and relevant, and in Canada. I'm back in Victoria.
And it's interesting, David talks about the fact that being from here grounds him in the crazy world of Hollywood. Do you agree?
When I come home, I land on the island, I get out of the plane, you can breathe in, you can smell the salty air and just the clean air, and it's just, you feel completely at peace. Because you're in Hollywood, it's just it's madness. And the energy is different. So my kids and I are here as much as possible.
We appreciate you so much taking a break from the madness to help out such a great cause, and that's the David Foster Foundation.
And my mom, too. You know, my Auntie Vi gets a lot of attention. My mom gets
She's
jealous.
extraordinary as well. I actually we did an interview with both of them, so
well, that's good.
we're giving that bad camera that's getting too close to you, we're giving them some attention too.
That's nice.
Pam,
thank you
always,
so much.
Such a pleasure.
Thank
nice
you.
to see you.
See you
Thank
later.
You so much.
Bye.
Have fun tonight. Pamela Anderson, Hudson Mack. She needs no introduction.
Absolutely not, and neither does her mom or Aunt Vi. Adam, thank you. Live shot from the tea lobby here at the Fairmont Empress. It is Miracle Weekend as the David Foster Foundation is celebrating its silver anniversary, and you're part of it. We're here live on the purple carpet. Let's take you back to our CTV News studios where CFAX 1070, our sister station, is wrapping up Foster Friday, the Miracle Radiothon, and we're about to find out just how much money's been raised. Joe.
Hudson, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. Phones have been ringing all day long. Money's been coming in. And it's almost over. It's 6 o'clock. It's time to do the major reveal. And joining me now for the big reveal is Al Farabee from CFAX 1070. Al, great day so far.
Boy, I'll tell you, this has been one of those days where we've learned so much about our community, and when there's a need out there as far as giving, again, they just give back, and in a very profound way. We experienced something very special once again with our community here in Greater Victoria.
Well, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. Everyone wants to know how much was raised today. Al, the honors?
Well, I'll tell you, and this, we have to say a big thank you to a guy that grew up right around here that David and Mike Ravenhill know very well, a guy by the name of Jeff Mallet, who just called us from San Francisco and said, sure, I'll be able to help you out. So now officially we can tell you on one day for 12 hours, $100,000 plus has been raised for the David Foster Foundation.
There you go, $100,000 plus, and you guys just hit that as well.
Just hit it moments like seconds ago, so we're over the moon.
There you go, $100,000 plus is the final total today, Hudson. Great news, and congratulations to everyone. A job well done here at CFAX 1070 and CTV Studios. 100,000 plus.
Wow, fantastic, Joe. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thanks to everybody, all of you who supported the Miracle Radiothon today. Adam, I don't know if you heard that, but your gentleman, the guest you have standing by, will be glad to know more than $100,000 raised in the Miracle Radiothon today.
David Foster did not hear the total, so let's give it to him. Raised at the CFAX 1070 Foster Friday Radiothon, $100,000.
Isn't that incredible?
That's unbelievable.
I'm hoarse. I've been yelling all day at the radio station and just asking people, and it's an incredible job that CFAX does, and it's amazing. That's amazing, $100,000.
Did you ever think that back when you were 12 or 14 and you had one of those teen bands that you had? It was like Paul Revere and the Raiders.
Yeah.
Did you ever think back then that this would happen?
No, I mean, of course not. I mean, I knew I wanted to do music all my life, but I didn't know that it would end here with my own street and radio stations and events and Muhammad Ali coming here and Gretzky and all this stuff. But I'm just so happy that it's in my hometown of Victoria, because this is what I'm most proud of from being here. So I know it sounds like over patriotic, but I can't help it. I'm a big flag waver.
And you mentioned that at the event this afternoon. You talked about how you shout Victoria, British Columbia on mountaintops literally around the world. Why is that important? You don't need to do that. Why do you do that?
I feel that it's, I've said it before, but I feel like it's my secret weapon, It's like I keep it in a pocket. Pamela Anderson and I were talking about that on the plane yesterday. It's like we just have this extra thing because we're from here. And there's just something about it, being here and being raised here, and it being so opposite of where we live and where we have to work. It's just very grounding, and Michael Bublé attests to it too. It's something to be said for being a British Columbian, that's for sure.
What's the secret to your success? Because if you read The Hitman, if you read your autobiography, you hear this kind of nerdy, pimply kid who doesn't want to practice piano despite the fact that he's a piano prodigy, essentially, doesn't really want to do schoolwork. You've been able to accomplish so much. How do you find that balance when there's parts of this job you don't like doing?
Yeah, I don't know where I got my drive from. I guess I got the luck of DNA from my parents and from the generations before, and I don't know. I mean, I guess when you come from poverty, not that we didn't feel poor, we just didn't have any money, but poverty can be a great gift to, you get sent out in the world, and it's like, okay, if you're gonna eat, you got to make it happen yourself, but I'm an overachiever, and I stayed straight because I never wanted to let my parents down. I never did any drugs. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I'm not preaching. It's just the way it is. My road is straight. It is not curved.
and I try to keep it as straight as I can at all times.
One of the news that came out of the announcement today is now that this is David Foster Way, you now want that way to lead towards perhaps a performing arts center. Why is that a dream?
When you look at the beauty of this place, which is so magnificent, the Inner Harbor, and you just imagine like Alice, Sydney, Australia, some kind of beautiful opera house right on the water where people can come and perform for generations to come. It has nothing to do with me. It doesn't need to have my name on it. It just should be there because it's the perfect setting, and we as Victorians deserve it.
Well, you are a humble man, and this foundation has your name on it, and we are so thrilled that you're doing the work you do.
And a big shout out to the Oak Bay Beach Hotel because they were supposed to be hosting this weekend and they fell a little short. But thanks, guys, to the Walkers for being so great. And we're at the beautiful Empress Hotel, which pinch hitted for them, which was great.
Well, this is just the beginning. The gala,
oh, I know.
Then of course the big concert tomorrow. Enjoy all the best with your.
I better go rehearse.
Yes, thanks, David. Take care. Hudson, there we have the man of the hour, the man who has helped so many families by helping to raise millions and millions of dollars, not just in this country, but internationally as well.
All right, Adam. Yeah, thanks. He needs to go rehearse, sure. We are watching the excitement build down here at the Fairmont Empress. We are 1 hour into a special CTV News edition this Friday night of the David Foster Foundation Miracle Weekend. And we're back with another hour from the purple carpet after this. A special edition of CTV News at 6, live on the purple carpet of the David Foster Miracle Weekend. We're here at the Fairmont Empress Hotel, not at the Oak Bay Beach Hotel as was originally thought. As we're celebrating the arrival of the celebrities who are here to help David Foster and his foundation as they help families needing organ transplants across the country. Reuben Studdard has arrived on the purple carpet, and our Andrew Swatsky is there. Let's kick off this hour with Ruben. Adam.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Football star in high school, and now here you are walking a purple carpet in Victoria. How does this feel?
It feels amazing. You know, it's a long way from Huffman High School, you know what I mean? But it's a blessing. You know, my very first interview in Canada was with you guys, so I'm happy to talk to you again.
Well, thank you for speaking with us again.
That's what's up.
Why did you want to come up? Why was this important to you to help David Foster?
Well, you know, David has always been so gracious to me. He's been like a big brother to me. He taught me a lot. He took me on the road with him. And he doesn't really tour, you know what I mean? But he's shown me a lot musically and about, you know, how good is the enemy of great. He always says that, and that's you know, something that I've really taken a hold to in my career, and I'm just really thankful for him. And I have a foundation as well, and you know, and what he's doing is such, you know, it's such great work. You know, people. Life depends on all of us being organ donors, you know what I mean? So I really appreciate what he's doing.
You talked about that he always says, good is the enemy of great, and I've heard him say that as well.
Yeah.
I've also heard from some of the people who work with him, including Nelly Furtado and the Canadian Tenors, that he's a bit of a toughie in the studio.
He is, but you know, it's good to be tough on people because a lot of times we can get a little lax, you know what I mean? And that's, you know, that's why he, you know, sells so many records, is because he demands perfection.
And how does he do that? I mean, we know him as this hometown boy that has gone on to enormous success. What is that magic from someone who's worked with him?
He understands the speak. He understands how to deal with different persons. That's the mark of a great producer. Not only, you know, being musically gifted, but also knowing how to deal with, you know, so many different personalities, because every artist is different, and you know, he has to acclimate himself to those different artists, and he does it very well. Obviously, you know, from Celine to Whitney Houston to, you know,
to Reuben Studdard,
to everybody. We haven't done an album together yet, but we will.
What are you guys going to be doing tomorrow night at the big concert?
Man, we're just going to probably doing a lot of his songs and, you know, paying tribute to David, man. This is his thing, man. So I'm going to just come out here and sing my heart out for him like I always do.
Reuben Studdard, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to Canada.
Yes, sir.
There we go. Reuben Studdard, just one of many folks in the long lineup of celebrities that are here to help support the David Foster Foundation.
All right, Adam Swatsky live on the purple carpet for us. Adam, thank you. Of course, once these celebs make their way up the purple carpet, they are in the old tea lobby here at the Fairmont Empress, and then into the Palm Court and the Crystal Ballroom for an intimate evening with Foster and friends. That's where we find our Andrew Johnson. Andrew.
Hudson, excitement's really starting to build inside the tea lobby. It's also really filling up. Some of the celebrities have streamed inside. Pamela Anderson drawing a lot of attention. A lot of the people here have flown in from across North America, friends of the David Foster Foundation, willing to donate money towards this great cause. And of course, the show tonight, well, David Foster's got a lot of experience putting on a great show, and everyone's just kind of wondering what kind of surprises he's going to pull out. A little later on, we'll talk to David's daughter, Allison, about the great work being done by the David Foster Foundation that's been done for 25 years to help families of children who need organ transplants, and hopefully they'll be helping a lot more for many years to come.
All right, Andrew, thank you. You know, of course, it's not just stars from Hollywood and from the world of music that are here. There's some big sports names who are here this weekend as well. The great one and one of the greatest ever to grace the sports world. Myra's here with more about that. Maya.
Absolutely, Hudson. We have two of the biggest names in sports coming to throw their support behind the David Foster Foundation. It doesn't get any bigger when you talk about hockey than the greatest player to ever play the game. He's known as the Great One. He's known as 99, and he will be here tomorrow.
You know, 25 years ago when we first started the foundation, Wayne, Alan Thicke, myself, and Rob Lowe got on a plane and came here to announce the first event. And so we wanted to recreate that moment. So we have Wayne, we have Alan, we have myself. Unfortunately, Rob Lowe, it's his graduation of his son from high school, I think, today.
That's a good excuse.
Yeah, so he was like, would love to do it, but I just can't be there. So we'll represent without him, but the three of us will be here to recreate that moment.
Well, Gretzky will be honored at tomorrow night's gala with a Visionary Award. Internationally acclaimed artist Martin Shadley from Saanich created these beautiful eagle sculptures for the 3 Visionary Award recipients. No hockey player had better vision than Wayne Gretzky. He's always held himself to the highest standard on the ice and off of it.
Way back in the day, when he had a girlfriend, we were out. I mean, you know, he was 25 years old, and we wanted to go to my place just for drinks. And he said, you know, I really don't want to be seen going into an elevator with a girl. I mean, that was his mentality at age 25. You know, he just is always so aware, acutely aware of his responsibility, and I think a lot of athletes could learn from that.
As we told you at the beginning of our live broadcast, Victoria's Ryder Hejdahl can almost smell the top of the podium in Milan at the Giro d'Italia. Ryder had the ride of his career in the 19th stage and is only 17 seconds back of the overall leader, Joaquim Rodriguez of Spain. Now, we talked to Ryder's longtime mechanic, Troy Woodburn from Trek Bicycles, to tell us just how important today's cycle was and how close Ryder is to actually popping champagne and being at the top of the podium come Sunday.
Pretty much Ryder's race. If it was the TT tomorrow and everything went smooth, Ryder would walk away with the win because he can TT, you know, faster than those guys, and they're expecting him to maybe put a minute and a half to 2 minutes on Rodriguez in the time trial. So if anything went sideways for Ryder, which it won't, but if it did, you know, it's his race to lose. So knock on wood, it's not gonna happen.
So he's almost assured a podium finish, which no Canadian has ever done, but it's looking like if everything goes swimmingly, Ryder will be the man in pink at the end of the day.
Let's not jinx it, but let's hope.
Is there some wood around us?
Yeah, I think there's some wood under here.
Let's knock on that tree.
Here's some wood for you. Knock on that. All right, Mike, thank you.
And one of the celebs who was there is this guy here. You know him as a contestant, one of the finalists on American Idol, Michael Johns. Welcome to Victoria.
How are you? Yes,
Your very first
yes.
time here.
It's my very first time in the beautiful Victoria, and you put the weather on. Jeez, it's unbelievable today. It's perfect.
How is it compared to Australian weather?
This is like almost where I grew up. I grew up in Perth, Australia, which is about as far as you can get from here. And we have a saying in Australia, it's sunny one day, perfect the next. And this is about as perfect as you can get.
It does rain occasionally, but it's certainly not doing
And that's okay, but this is, they put it on. They put it on for Foster Day, if you will.
Foster Friday, why did you want to, I know you've worked with David before, why did you want to be a part of this?
Look, David's just, if you had told me, you know, when I was 10 years old, listening to all that music and the people that I wanted to work with when I was growing up, that I would ever be, you know, working with David Foster, I would have told you were nuts, you know. And, you know, 3 or 4 years ago, he reached out to me and just loved my voice, and he's believed in me ever since and brought me on some amazing stages, introduced me to some of the most impressive people in the world, talented people. And when he said, hey, I'd love you to come up here and and sing for Man in Motion tonight for Rick Hansen. I was like, are you kidding? I'm on the next jet out of Miami, actually is where I was. So I met Rick today for the very first time, and it's going to be an honor tonight to sing the song that was written about the legend of Rick Hansen.
You were probably a kid when that was first a hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Were you still in Australia, or had you gotten your tennis scholarship yet?
No, I was still in Australia. I think I might have only been about 5 or 6 years old when Rick was, wheeling across the world. So, as I say, tonight to be able to sing, maybe tonight, if they might do an acoustic performance, I'm not sure, but definitely tomorrow night. But to come here and do that for David and for Rick is a complete honor.
Well, thank you for being here. I kind of wished you were doing that Doors cover you did on American Idol, which was so...
that it would be untrue. Yeah, I've got the long hair like him now. It's insane.
All right,
thanks very much.
Thanks for being a part of this.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy Victoria. Michael Johns, American Idol finalist, and here to help David Foster raise some money for such an extraordinary cause.
All right, Adam, thank you. I'm sure he'll be lighting our fire once that concert gets underway tonight. And the star-studded arrivals continue. Let's take you back to the purple carpet. Adam's standing by. Adam.
Yes, standing by with 3 of the Canadian tenors, including Port McNeil's own Clifton Murray.
Island boy.
Yeah.
Proud to be.
How does this feel? Everyone's paying attention to this guy because he's back on the island.
We're happy about it, you know. Press for him is good press for us. We're all in it together, man.
Yeah, and I could take a nap. It's great.
Because Clifton's going to do a lot of work.
That's right. Hey, it's good. We're usually in Toronto where he's the hometown boy, so it's a little switcheroo here. This is great.
Nice. What can we expect from you guys? A big performance. We've heard that there may be a duet with Sarah McLachlan at the concert.
Yeah, we have 2 awesome nights. Tonight is the VIP dinner. Really intimate night with David on the piano and a few artists up performing. We do a few songs. And then tomorrow night, the big show. It's Save On Foods Arena. We're going to be with Sarah McLachlan, as you said. Definitely relive that moment on our PBS special with Sarah McLachlan for Hallelujah. And a few other surprises maybe, right?
Oh, always.
Some great performers, Josh Groban, Reuben Studdard, and there's more and more coming at everybody, so we're excited to be here.
It's amazing if you look at what you guys have been able to achieve in such a short amount of time. I think you probably don't even remember this. Last time you and I met was years ago when this thing was first starting out. You were in like some church auditorium or something. Do you remember
that wasn't far from here, actually.
Yeah, way back.
It might have been the conservatory or something. The conservatory.
How does this feel that in such a short amount of time you're now performing for the Queen, you're performing for Oprah? How does this feel?
Well, it's a short amount of time, but it's been like over 5 years in the making, and we've been working hard. Like, last year we did over 300 dates, and this year it's been a hard year working on our new recording, which is going to be released in the fall, October. What was it? 9th. Yeah. So we've been going like a machine, and it's been great because the support from our fellow Canadians just helps so much, and we're so happy to be at home right now celebrating.
Which performance are you looking forward to the most, Clifton? Your sisters?
Georgia Murray's won that competition, and she'll be up there performing on Sunday. I'm so proud of her. Georgia Murray from Port McNeil as well. So personally, I'm excited about that. But I'm a big fan of Reuben Studdard. We love the guy. From Mobile, Alabama. We went on tour with him through Southeast Asia. David took us on a trip with him, and he's also an amazing performer as well.
Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for your time.
Performances. All the best, and thanks for helping out David.
Thanks again.
Thank you very much, Clifton. See ya. Clifton Murray, one of the nicest guys. We've spoken before. Hudson, there you go. The tenors.
All right, Adam, thank you. Good guys indeed. And of course, they were there. They were the surprise guests that David Foster didn't know about when they announced on the patio at the still under construction Oak Bay Beach Hotel many months ago that this weekend was going to happen. And here we are tonight. We'll take a break. We're back with more on the work the Foster Foundation is doing to help families, and a look at your Swiftsure weekend weather forecast, and it's a good one. Still ahead on CTV News.
Joined now by a familiar face to many Canadians. He's one of the dragons on Dragon's Den. Jim Treliving, successful businessman, Boston Pizza, among other franchises, and also a David Foster Foundation board member. Now, you're obviously a busy guy.
Yes.
Why did you choose this foundation to donate your time
I think
to?
just the work that David's doing is unbelievable. And why I wanted to get involved was I saw the kids that were involved in this, and we're small kids. And we're a family business. So in Boston Pizza, that was one of the things we were looking at. So when we looked at it, we thought, my gosh, he's doing great work, but he's not getting out to the public. And they were revamping the board because David was really doing all that stuff on his own. All of a sudden, we got a board together. Mike Ravenhill come on. He said, Jim, will you come and sit on the board because you know some people in the business? And that's what we did. We put some real good people together. Also, we like to party, so have a good time. And that's how you raise money. I think that all the things I've done and all the things I've been associated with is giving back to the community, but you also got to be in a situation where you got to create something for people to come and have fun with, not just a concert. You got to raise money.
It's a great story. Thanks very much, Jim. Have a great weekend in Victoria.
You can't have fun here. You can't have fun anywhere.
I was going to say, you're not going to have too much trouble. That's David Foster Foundation board member Jim Treliving. Hudson.
All right, Andrew, thank you. Jim, thank you. I saw Jim bombing around town in his Rolls Royce today. I think I helped buy that with a couple of large deluxes over the years. Love those Boston pizzas, Jim. Thank you.
I'm joined now by Brian Hobson from the hotel. Brian, there's a lot more to the Oak Bay Beach Hotel than just rooms, spa, and dining.
Absolutely right, Louise. We like to get people out onto the water. We're sitting here in Nature Spa, the most beautiful waterfront, we think, in the entire world. And so since 1985, we've been taking people out on the water, dinner cruises, whale watching, kayaking, and then when the spirit moves us, then we take actually people out on cycling winery tours as well. But this is the most beautiful spot in the world, and we try to get people over to Chatham and Discovery Island. You'll see a vessel coming by here shortly called the Discovery Shuttle. And actually, it's our friends at Ocean River Sports are operating it for us this year, but previously that's our vessel. We used to take our guests from our own dock here. Oh, they're waving.
Lots of fun then. Lots of fun for all of the guests here at the Oak Bay Beach Hotel. And of course, lots of fun for locals who want to come down here, check out the great food dining experience. And Hudson, can't wait for it to open.
You bet. It's going to be well worth the wait. Louise, thank you.
You're welcome.
And big thanks to Kevin and Shauna Walker for all they have done to make sure that this weekend went ahead. I know it was a disappointment to them that the hotel wasn't ready, but they have stepped in and they have made sure that they are actually our host here tonight and working hand in hand with the good folks at the Fairmont Empress to see this weekend go ahead. And what a success it is already. We'll take a break. There's more to come, more from the purple carpet as this special edition of CTV News and Vancouver Island Report continues. Shot from the tea lobby here at the Fairmont Empress Hotel, side of the intimate evening with David Foster and friends as we kick off the Foster Foundation Miracle Weekend. We've shown you some of the arrivals on the purple carpet tonight. Our Adam Swatsky standing by with some of the folks who came here to do some stargazing. Adam.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some of the celebs we've had so far. Pamela Anderson's been on, David Foster, of course, the Canadian Tenors. These are some of the folks that came to see those celebs. And how has it been so far?
It's really exciting. It's really neat to see the stars on the red carpet or purple carpet, and beautiful day in Victoria.
You have a full book down there.
I do, yes.
Show us some of these people's signatures.
Canadian Tenors, okay. And I've got David Foster.
And whose do you like best? Michael Johns.
Michael Johns, yeah. Canadian Tenors.
Why?
I love the music. I love the passion and the soul in their music, and it's exciting.
Thank you so much. What about, oh, look at this, a whole sheet full of stuff. Who have you been most excited to see?
Probably David Foster.
And that's his right there, I assume?
Yeah.
What do you think of his signature?
It's nice. It's nicer than mine.
And who have you seen? Who are you most excited about seeing?
Probably David Foster too.
And what was he like?
He was really nice. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time, guys. And what about you? Who was the person you're most excited about seeing, or who was nicest to you?
David Foster. Yeah, he took the time to have a photo taken with us and actually, speak to a lot of people, and it was just really impressive to see such an amazing man.
Thanks. Thank you guys so much for your time, and thanks for sticking around getting those signatures. And Hudson, this is really what it's all about. If you think of Foster's schedule so far, he was at CFAX quite early in the morning for Foster Friday to kick off, getting $100,000. Then he was there at the naming ceremony. Now he's here talking to his fans as well. This guy is more than a hit man. He's a hit machine.
He is a machine indeed. And Sparky, you're a big Sinbad fan, I know. That's the one celeb we're still waiting to make his way up the purple
Fingers
carpet.
crossed that we'll get Sinbad walking this purple carpet before the broadcast is over. Anyway, he's going to be here performing for people nonetheless.
All right, Adam, thank you.
Okay.
And we're we're back live with Foster and Friends. Let's take you back inside to Andrew Johnson. Andrew.
Hudson, I'm joined now by a hero to many Canadians, the man in motion, Rick Hansen. Now, David Foster is not the only one celebrating a 25th anniversary. You've just completed your 25th anniversary relay. What brings you here? You know
what? David does such incredible work. His foundation, he's moved from being a star in my eyes to a superstar because of what he's done to pay it forward. And I'm here to say congratulations to a great Canadian.
When did your relationship with David Foster first begin?
We go back a long ways. When we were doing the original Man in Motion tour, we looked for a theme song and someone suggested, hey, why don't you get David Foster to do it? I went, who's he? And they said, you don't know who he is. And all of a sudden, our story went down to David when he was writing the song, St. Elmo's Fire, Man in Motion. They couldn't come up with the words. They looked at our promotional tape, and then within 20 minutes, the #1 hit song was born, and it became an anthem for us all around the world. And so I'm forever indebted to David and all the great work that he's done to support us.
Well, you're both doing so well and have helped so many people since then. It's an honor to have you here in Victoria. Thanks, Rick.
Thank you, and go, David, go.
Hudson, that's Rick Hansen, the man in motion with us this weekend at the David Foster Foundation's Miracle Weekend.
All right, Andrew, thank you. Rick, thank you. And, of course, St. Elmo's Fire is one of my favorite Foster songs, too. One more break, and we're back with more. A quick look at your weekend weather forecast next. Welcome back as we wrap up our coverage of the David Foster Miracle Weekend here at the Purple Carpet of the Fairmont Empress. And what a weekend it's going to be. Great weather came up for us this afternoon, and we'll continue for Swiftsure. Let's check in with Astrid one more time. Astrid.
Hudson, this is the perfect way to welcome all of our visitors to Victoria. Not only do we have beautiful conditions here on the South Island, if you're around the Nanaimo area over the next 7 days, well, you get a good start to the next week starting this weekend. Here's a look at your extended forecast, which is brought to you by Train. It's hard to stop a train. Enjoy tomorrow and 24 degrees. Sunday, a frontal system starts to affect our forecast. That's bringing a slight chance of showers off and on right the way through to the end of next week. So that's a look at what's on the way. Enjoy this weather. It's great, Hudson.
All right, Astrid, thank you.
You're welcome.
And before we go, we just want to say a big thank you to everybody who helped support our sister station CFAX 1070 today as they took part in the David Foster Miracle Radiothon. It was Foster Friday on CFAX 1070, and you responded in a big way. About 1 hour ago, we got the final tally, and the phones were still ringing. About $100,000 or more has been collected to support the Foster Foundation, and we thank you for all you have done. We also thank you for being with us tonight on this special edition of CTV News. It's great to have you here. It's great for us to be here, and it's great for us to support the Foster Foundation. Here's a live shot from inside the tea lobby. This all began 25 years ago with a little girl named Rachel Sharma. David Foster stepped up then and said, what can we do to help? And now, a quarter of a century later, his foundation is helping families not just across the country, but in Canada, the U.S., and around the world. And it's happening thanks to you. And we encourage you to be an organ donor, to make the people you love signify that they will be one too, and let them know what you want to do. And if you want to support the Foster Foundation, go online and find out more. We thank you for being here. Have a great weekend. Enjoy Swiftsure. Joe Perkins has full coverage for you this weekend, including the concert tomorrow night. We'll see you then. Have a good weekend. Good night.